How's it going, ladies and gentlemen? I'm Dr. Gay, and in today's video, I'm going to be showing you how you can get more high with less suboxone or buprenorphine. And when I say high, I don't mean high because obviously you're not getting high off of these drugs. Let me finish my cup of tea here. Now, while I finish my cup of tea, first of all, I want to say just a little background on this. The method that I'm going to be teaching you, you can use it with any form of suboxone. You could use it with either the film strips or you can use it with the tablets. But it's specifically geared towards the tablets, and it works the best with the tablets. So, my nose is itchy for some reason. So, quick history, if you don't already know, when suboxone, which is a combination of buprenorphine and naloxone, when suboxone first came to the market, it was only available in these tablets. Then the company that invented suboxone, buprenorphine had been around before then. I don't actually know what pharmaceutical company it was that discovered buprenorphine. In any event, the company... Let me see if I can find it. So actually the answer is confusing. There was one company that turned into a different company. So who gives a shit? It's all capitalist stuff that is... I don't have any problem with capitalism. And look at the freaking suit that I'm wearing. And the fact that I'm a doctor. But it's confusing and it doesn't matter. So, when suboxone was first invented, it came in the form of tablets only. Suboxone, the company that makes suboxone, later invented the film strip, the sublingual film strip, which is essentially a Listerine strip, which has suboxone, which has buprenorphine in it. The point of this video and the point of this technique is to get the most bang for your buck. So there's a bunch of different studies that say, or there's a few studies that say that the bioavailability is higher if you use a film strip. And typically the bioavailability is indeed higher if you use a film strip instead of a tablet. But the tablets, of course, cost less money. Eventually, suboxone stopped making tablets, and they only produce film strips now. But you can still get the generic tablets, and the generic tablets are far cheaper than even the generic film strips. And as I'm about to show you, you can actually get more bioavailability using the tablets rather than using the film strips. So, I'm one of those doctors that takes the drugs that I prescribe. So, I'm going to show you exactly how to do this. Bioavailability, if you're not sure what that is, that's just a fancy way of saying the amount of drug that actually gets used by your body. So, if you take a drug, you never get 100% of the drug, except some drugs if you intravenously inject it. So see, I have these really nice veins, right? Like, look at these veins. I can actually make them dance. I can't do it when I'm... Oh, wait. Yeah, there we go. Look, it's dancing. Bing-ga-dum-ba-doom. See it dancing? Right there? So, believe it or not, back in the day, I used to inject drugs intravenously, such as heroin, diacetylmorphine, and cocaine. Now, I don't inject drugs anymore, and I haven't in about 7 or 8 years. I stopped doing it when I was 25. I still make a lot of bad decisions, but when I was 25, I stopped making a lot of the really bad decisions that I was making. Getting back to my point on bioavailability, if you inject most drugs intravenously, I wish I had a needle here so I could show you, but this is a needle, okay? Now, if I inject it intravenously, a lot of the time you're going to get 100% of the drug. So it's going to have 100% bioavailability. So buprenorphine is actually one of the few drugs where you don't actually typically get 100% of the buprenorphine if you inject it intravenously. The reason for that, I'm not 100% sure, but buprenorphine is a strain. Hey ladies and gentlemen, I'm back. But here is what you need to do. Now I got the secret ingredient. I told you I was going to tell you the secret ingredient that you can use today for free at home and easily using my secret method of hyping something up. No, seriously, I am hyping it up, but obviously I'm joking around with you, but I'm not joking at the same time because I'm a doctor. And doctors don't joke around, especially doctors on YouTube. So I got my secret ingredient and I'm gonna show you now what you do. So the secret ingredient is, wait for it, bum-ba-da-bum-ba-da-bum-ba-da-bum, baking soda. Okay? It's probably turned around the wrong way. If I edit this video properly, I'll change it so you can see what it is. So you're going to be using baking soda, which is a secret ingredient, and then water. So I've already got a little bit of water in here. See, it's only a little bit of water, but the point is, you don't really need to measure anything exactly. You don't need to. There's no reason for it. All you want to do is, now first of all, they tell you in the, trying to get a good camera angle here. I'll go in the middle here. So in the pamphlet that you get with your buprenorphine, they explain to you that you should brush your teeth first and you shouldn't smoke for 15 minutes beforehand or 15 minutes afterwards. And that's all true. You should follow all of that advice. That's all very good advice. You should make sure there's no food in your mouth, or ideally you should brush your teeth first, and you should definitely not smoke. The reason that they don't want you to smoke is if you smoke, or if you vape, or if you smoke a pipe, because I smoke a pipe because I'm a fucking doctor. That's the reason I smoke a pipe. It's not because I like smoking a pipe. No, I really like smoking pipes. Anyways, that sounds a little weird, didn't it? I like smoking pipes and my name is Dr. Gay. Anyways, so the reason that they tell you not to smoke or ingest any form of nicotine is because nicotine is a vasoconstrictor, which just means that it makes your veins, your blood vessels constricted, smaller. Vaso is to do with your vascular system, and constricted like a fucking snake wrapping around you, or like this stupid ass tie. So nicotine's a vasoconstrictor, and the reason that that's not good is because the buprenorphine travels through your blood vessels to get into your bloodstream, to get into your brain. So don't smoke, don't eat anything, and ideally you should brush your teeth. You don't have to brush your teeth though. You should brush your teeth because you should brush your teeth a few times a day. But just make sure there isn't any food in your mouth. Wash out your mouth. And then what you're going to do is this. There's two things about the way that I'm going to tell you to do it that are different that most people might not think about. So first of all, you just want to add a little bit of baking soda to some water. I actually said a little bit of baking soda. You want to add the most baking soda possible before the baking soda isn't able to dissolve in the water. So mix it around, give it a good mix. And now what you're going to do is, I'm going to show you how I actually do it. I got my buprenorphine here. It isn't suboxone because suboxone doesn't make tablets anymore. But what I'm going to do is, I am going to take this solution of baking soda and I'm going to swish it around my mouth. Now I'm actually going to swallow it. You can just spit it out if you want to, but baking soda is safe and it actually helps settle your stomach a little bit because your stomach is very acidic. I suffer from chronic heartburn, so I swallow it. So now the reason that this is going to help is because whenever you have a compound, a drug, it typically absorbs better if it's in its free base form. So having an alkaline environment, which is induced with the baking soda, actually allows the buprenorphine to go through your blood vessels in your mouth, under your tongue, or in your cheek. It allows the buprenorphine to go through the blood vessels quicker and more efficiently. It makes a huge difference. It really does. So even if you're using the film strips, you can go ahead and just rinse your mouth out with some baking soda. You can swallow the baking soda as long as it's not too much. You can swallow about half a teaspoon of baking soda, maybe even a teaspoon. Anyways, you can do this with the film strip. But the thing that's better about the tablets is if you're taking something sublingually or buccally, there's two main factors that are variables insofar as they are a function to how much drug is absorbed. So the two variables are the longer that you leave something in your mouth, on your cheek, under your tongue, sublingually, whatever, the longer that you leave it there, the more is going to get absorbed. That's kind of obvious, isn't it? If I put something in my mouth and I just spit it right back out, it's not going to do anything. So the longer you leave it there, the better. The second thing, and this is why the tablets are better, is for this second variable. The more concentrated that substance is, the more concentrated it is, the more it's going to be absorbed. And the reason for that is because it relates to the first variable, the amount of time that it spends there. So if you have something in your mouth, but let's say it's diluted in a whole bunch of saliva, then it's not really touching the sides of your mouth. It's just in a pool of saliva. So to try to make this obvious, if I was to take one of these suboxones here, one of these buprenorphines here, not suboxone, they're not suboxone, right? So if I took one of these buprenorphine tablets and I dissolved it in a big thing of water, and then I just put that water in my mouth, the buprenorphine isn't actually up against my tongue, up against my my blood vessels. Instead, the buprenorphine is in the solution. So the reason that these tablets are better is because they don't dissolve right away. So what you're going to want to do is, after you rinse your mouth out with the baking soda, usually I'll leave the baking soda in here a little bit longer, but I want to speed this up. And I like to do it a couple, 2, 3, 4 different times. Alright? That's good enough for me. I'll do one more. So what you want to do is, I'm itchy. You want to take your suboxone. I'm just going to take like a third of a suboxone because that's all I really need. Or not a suboxone, it's a buprenorphine tablet. Right? It's probably a little bit more than a third, but that's alright. So I take my little tablet, and what I'll do is, I'll just put it in between my lips, off to the side here a little bit, between my lips and my gums, and I'll kind of hold, I'll go like this. I'll kind of hold my lip in. Doesn't have to be very tight. You just want it to be tight enough so no saliva gets into this. So you want to do that, and then you want to hold it there in place for as long as you can. I'll usually do it for 30, 40 minutes. The longer the better. And now if you did this correctly, you'll still be able to feel the tablet sitting between your gums and your lips after 30, 40 minutes. It'll still be there. So after that amount of time goes by, however long you could do it for 10, 20 minutes if you want, but the longer the better. After that time goes by, you want to take your tongue and just paint your whole mouth with the buprenorphine, and then don't swallow for another 40 minutes.